Hello everybody, this is Solartiger with part 2 of the bathroom ceiling fix video. Part 1 was about how I was going to patch the hole in the ceiling. So this is part 2. This video is in 2 parts because unlike everybody else I do not do video editing. I just shoot it in one go and upload it. That's how it works. I don't do any video editing. So if things happen at 2 different times, I film it at 2 different times. So this is part 2 and I will tell you how I got on. So that's what's up there now. Right, so originally I was going to use this patch as you saw in the first video, but I discovered that because this ceiling is textured, as you can see, it's not flat, then I found that the ceiling patch would not stick to the ceiling. So that was a bit of a bummer. So I did look at YouTube videos on this and it said that your ceiling had to be flat. If not, you'd have to sand it flat. The only problem with sanding this is it will make a mess everywhere and I didn't want to do that. So I came up with a different method. So what I did is I got some paper. This just happened to be the paper out of the paint tray. It was what comes in it when you buy it, the paper inlay. I have more than one paint tray, so I use the insert from a different tray, but it's just ordinary paper. And I cut it into strips, into long strips, strips going this way, about 1 or 2 centimeters wide. I just cut strips of paper and I mixed up some of this patching plaster and water in a tray, and I literally brushed some of it onto the ceiling with a paintbrush, with this paintbrush. So I brushed some onto the ceiling, took a strip of paper, I pasted it over the hole and then brushed it with the plaster mix. And I did this a lot of times, building up a sort of square, so strips in one direction and then in the opposite direction. So I built up a layer until I had covered the hole. Now one thing I noticed with that is that it sort of sagged into the hole, so there was a bit of a depression, but that was fine. So I pasted strips on, as you can see, in at 90 degrees. So strips went one way and then at 90 degrees. And I built up layers until I covered up the hole. And as I said, there was a depression in the middle, but I wasn't worried by that. So I pasted on several layers and then I left it to dry for about 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours maybe, and until it went fairly hard. And then I came back and I mixed more of this plaster. As you can see, I mixed up rather a large amount. Basically I put some in the tray, added water, it was too thin, and then I had to keep adding more powder to get the right consistency. So anyway, I found this plaster in the shed, so I didn't buy it. Obviously one of the previous tenants had bought it, so it saved me from having to buy some. So I mixed some together and then I filled in the depression and smoothed it over, and the result looks pretty reasonable. So all I've got to do now is to let it dry for a couple of hours and then stick some white paint up there. And the only problem was I don't have any paint, so I'll have to get some. But in the meantime, it fills in the hole, so it looks pretty good now. And that's how I fixed the hole in the ceiling for zero cost. I had some paper, it came out of the paint tray lining, and I found the plaster in the shed, so I basically fixed that hole for nothing. So I'm sorry I'm having to look at the light bulb because it is in the evening now. So that's what I've done. I've fixed the hole in the ceiling. So this was a different Solartiger video. There's nothing solar about this video. It was just me fixing a dodgy hole in the ceiling. So I thank you for watching, and if you like this sort of video, please leave a comment down below. And until next time, this is Solartiger saying thank you for watching and goodbye. Thank you.